Hello everybody. Today I'm making polenta for this evening's dinner, which is going to be polenta with a mushroom ragu. If you can just find really good organic polenta, it'll work just fine. And so now I'm just slowly heating up my polenta over a medium-high heat. And we'll stir it slowly. As many of you probably know, eventually what's going to happen is it's going to start blubbing up and getting bubbles, and that's when it kind of can get dangerous. So the way to avoid that, at least to minimize it, is just by continuously stirring it. The glugs are starting. You can see the bubbles popping. I'm gonna try to keep myself from getting burned. But you can see now I've turned the heat down a little bit on the stove, and now I'm going to really keep stirring it. Your polenta is finished when it easily comes off the sides of the pot. And now I'm there with it. So while you're stirring it, if it easily comes off the side of the pot, you've got cooked polenta. The next step is taking an oven tin and spreading some olive oil all over it, because I'm going to pour the polenta onto this. So I'm going to pour this out onto the oiled parchment paper. So I'm just going to smooth it out. And so it's dinner time now, and I'm spreading oil all over the top of this sheet of polenta. I'm making a vegetarian option for the polenta tonight, and that will be a mushroom sugo or sauce. Very, very simple. I'm not going to complicate it at all. This is just a combination of brown button mushrooms and shiitake. I have a can of diced tomatoes, olive oil, of course, and then a couple of red onions, and a little bit of garlic. And then I also have some fresh herbs from my garden. So that's what I start with. These get cut up, and then we'll come back when it's cooking. So I've got oil in the pan. See if I can adjust this a little bit better. I'm gonna first add our onions and garlic. The garlic is just chopped. The onions I've left in relatively large pieces. Like I said, it's very rustic, and that's kind of the way it should be with polenta. So here are our mushrooms. The whole pile is going to go in, and those are going to now cook down with the garlic and the onions until they're a little bit reduced. In the meantime, I asked my husband to pair a wine with this, and he has chosen our La Canova Barbaresco from 2018. This wine is the perfect wine to serve with a rustic, vegetarian, but full meal. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. So I've just gone in with about a half a can of my tomatoes. You don't really need a whole lot of tomatoes. I'm lowering the heat a little bit. Italians in general don't use tomatoes as much. I mean, they use tomatoes in everything, but they don't use the quantities that Americans do, especially in sauce. So it's just really used sort of as a nice binder, so that the sauce sort of kind of holds together nicely. So I just added that in, and that's looking really, really yummy. So here's our polenta. You can see it's starting to get brown around the edges, which is perfect. In a few minutes, as the sauce boils down and gets ready, I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese on top of this and let it melt. So here we've got our ragu, just about finished, and now I'm just going to put the fresh herbs in, and that's it. So here we are. Here's our polenta. It looks gorgeous. So I'm just going to cut through it like this with my just perfect. Some really, I have a very small kitchen, if you didn't notice. Some very yummy mushroom ragu. And then we're going to eat it.